All right, we should be live. What's up, everyone? Audio should be good. All right. Let me see if Spitfire alerts are good. All right. What's up, everyone? I would say happy Wednesday, but ever since everything that came out the last couple of days, I mean, I don't know. It's not directly related to me, but it is related to the tech content creator space, which I am a part of. So there's been some stuff that came out, which we are going to discuss on the stream, or we might discuss on the stream. Actually, we're gonna have a vote, but for now, we're just gonna treat it like any normal stream. Just gonna chill, hang out for a bit. I'm gonna read chat. I know what the chat's mostly gonna be about, but just gonna give people time to use the restroom, grab food, or get to the stream and get their notifications up and stuff like that. So how's everyone doing? Let's see. We had Craig Lilly. Oh boy, the battle of the century. Wonder what others. Of course, the first comment had to be about that. But yeah, we got Craig Lilly in the house. We got CPP Tech. We have Jason Whitmer was here, but I put this announcement out earlier because the stream is happening an hour earlier than we usually do on Wednesday, and that's because I have some stuff tonight to do. So, what are the odds that we? Well, actually, we'll see. It'll go to a vote, and I'm gonna explain everything in a little bit, but we're just gonna chill right now. Audio is good, says Techman YouTube. Thank TY. So when I first read that, I was like, is this a alternate account for Tech Yes City? Because Techman, the Techman himself, but just the name TYC Techman TY, very reminiscent of Tech Yes City. What's up, Michael Superbacker? What's up, Hero Gaming? What's up, Samuel Gosling, all the way from England? What time is it over there? The time in England, it is midnight, so thank you for tuning in when it should be roughly about bedtime for most people, but maybe you're a night owl. But let's see. KL130 is eating right now. I've been under an internet rock, says Superbacker. So what happened? Yeah, there's a lot. Oh man, there's a lot to go over. Which there's no way like I could even cover it on stream because there's so much going on and developing that no one single person can get completely up to speed with it. So I'm sure everyone is going to be able to chime in with stuff that other people and myself don't know about, and we'll just kind of take it as we go. But yeah, so just if you don't know what the heck's going on, sit tight for a bit as we just get the stream started and try to keep it as normal as possible because I don't know what direction this could go. Hey, what's up, Shauner? Yeah, and chat is moving way quicker than it normally does at the start, so I'm just trying to get caught up on all these comments while we wait. Kyle Cayley says, I can't believe I made a live for once. We're here every Wednesday evening, usually at 5 p.m. But today, all right. So the reason why we're early today is because it is Melissa's birthday. So if you're new around here, Melissa is my wife. It is her birthday today, so we are going out to dinner. And yeah, so that's the reason why I moved it up early. And I guess I could have I didn't want to cancel stream because any other day I would have moved it. It would have run into, like, let's say I didn't stream today and I stream tomorrow. That's when Zach does his stream. So like I didn't want to collide with anybody else's stream schedule, so I just moved it an hour earlier. And yeah, does that make me a bad husband? I promise I got Melissa a pretty cool birthday gift, and we're going to a pretty nice place for dinner. How deep and broad are we going with the topic? Are we talking about content quality and accuracy, conflict? Honestly, it depends on where the chat goes. I mean, I've been keeping on top of it as best as I could over the last couple of days, but there's just way too much to go on. If you go on to like even the LTT forums or like Twitter right now, there's just way too much stuff. And I wanted to address that too. Like there's the cold hard facts, which were reported by like, Gamers Nexus, and then just any communication back and forth between them and any parties involved. And then there's a lot of like speculation and like rumor mill going on, and then just like false like just attacks and stuff. So I wanted to address all of that and kind of like the whole blind mob mentality, because I've seen a lot of that going on. And there's plenty of reasons to be mad at Linus about right now, but I've just read some things that are just completely false or like misinformation, which is by no means like a defense to Linus, but it's just things like that like, I don't know, as you know, a grown adult who's not just trying to get into like drama and stir all that up, I think that's a little bit disappointing to see. Like, there are people who are weighing into this, and everyone has a right to weigh in on the situation as much as they want to, but doing so blindly with misinformation as well, that's not helpful to anybody, and that's part of the problem. I'm sure if you ask like Gamers Nexus, Billet Labs, or anyone else, Hardware Unboxed, on the other side of things, like if you're gonna like make a comment or weigh in on something, make sure you know the facts and don't just blatantly spew misinformation. And we'll go over that when we go to like the LTT subreddit and things like that. But again, I feel like I have to clarify this, because even Brett from UFD Tech, he made like a cold hard statement about what happened on one of his latest videos covering it, and I think he got some backlash because people thought he was like supporting Linus and LMG in it when he wasn't. It's just people are seeing anything that isn't like blatant anger or attacks at Linus, you know, anything that's even more neutral or more reasonable, people are seeing that as coming to his defense. So just wanted to put that out there. Let's see. Danny is on Team Linus. I'm not on Team Linus at all, and you'll see as we go through this. This is gonna be an exercise. So I am about to eat dinner, says Shauna. Okay, people jumping ship on Linus are rushing things. I would say on LTT, especially on LTT as a whole, I would agree with this statement, Mike. LMG and LTT is, you know, as everybody knows, is like a team of 100-something people. As a team, I feel like they've done like plenty of stuff that they should be proud of, and plenty of good stuff. They've made plenty of mistakes, as we've seen from all the videos and things that have come out. But does that call for a burning down of LMG and LTT completely, or does that call for restructuring and re-strategization and exiting of certain, you know, higher ups in the company, and then doing better moving forward? So, you know, that's all like that's I think that's all stuff that people need to sit back and really think about, more than just, you know, going into a blind rage and then like typing on forums like, you know, super mad and stuff. But we'll go through everything one by one, and then you guys can bring up some stuff that we can talk about. But yeah, let's see, we're gonna give it another few more minutes before I get into everything. So let's keep up chat. Zia will be here with the Dino Nuggets and Tater Tots. Staying 207 says, yo, still at work, but I'm here. Staying 207. I'm sorry. I forget if you're usually out of work by the time the normal stream starts, but thanks for still tuning in. Terabit Tech. It's 1 a.m. here. Ciao from Italy. Hero Gaming YouTube is asking about a good $500-ish PC. If you want $500 PC, go used parts. Go like 10th gen i3 or i5. RX 6600 XT or 6650 XT, 1TB hard drive. So you could probably fit 32 gigs of RAM in there, and then, you know, a cheap case, and then a cheap C tier power supply, and boom, you got a $500 PC. Wolfblade944, hello from Canada. What's up? We have a channel membership join. Nerd on a big budget. Justin Alexander, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Shauner says, exactly, I want them to get better. I'm not going to stop watching the channel. Yeah, so I would feel like this is a more reasonable response. And having met Shauner in real life and knowing the type of person he is, Shauner is a reasonable guy. Like, but we're going to go through some of the stuff. Like, we can go to the video comments or the subreddit and all that, and we're going to look at what I feel like is the wrong way to approach a situation like this. Dang, Han Andre. What's up? It's 7 a.m. here from Singapore. I hope you're not staying up till 7 a.m. Hopefully you just woke up because it's 7 a.m. From the video, it seemed like to me that the only ones frustrated and genuinely wanting change were Yvonne and Luke. It's hard to say that, because any type Okay, we're basically getting into it now. It's 4:10, 10 minutes after the stream start. Let's get into it. And all right, so some ground rules first that I want to say, since I feel like, you know, plenty of people are here now. People might tune in later, but just remind them if so. So I have a pretty strong opinion about like creating content covering drama or controversies for likes and clicks and views. And I just wanted to state now that even though, you know, the video and stream is titled the way it is, my intent is not to try to like gain from this in any ways, right? If I wanted to profit from this, if I wanted to clout chase, if I wanted to grow my channel based on this controversy, I wouldn't do this on a stream, because as you guys know, the stream only ever gets like maybe 100 something viewers. If I made a video about it, that would reach a way larger audience than if I did it on a stream. So also, if I did it on a video, I could throw a sponsor spot on it because it's almost guaranteed to do a lot of good views and stuff, and I would monetize video and all that stuff. Right now, I am doing this on a stream because the stream doesn't get a ton of viewers when it's live, and it doesn't get a ton of viewers even after the fact it becomes a VOD. It gets like maybe 2,000 to 3,000 viewers at most. I'm doing this today because all this just happened to happen a day or two before I typically live stream on Wednesday anyways, right? So I wanted to get that out of the way for anybody who might be out there saying, oh man, he's clout chasing, he's trying to like profit off this. I promise you, I'm not trying to gain in any way. The reason we're going to talk about it today is because, like I said earlier, LTT is, simply put, the biggest PC tech content creator channel. Everybody in this chat should know who Linus Tech Tips is, who Linus Media Group is. Me as a content creator, you know, Linus Tech Tips is a channel that not only myself, but other medium-sized or even smaller content creators have, even though they may not agree with, have in some way, I think, looked up or has seen as one of the pillars, whether it be a good or a bad pillar, one of the pillars in the PC tech content creator community. So the fact that this happened so soon, maybe if it happened a week ago or whatever, we could have had a normal stream today. But I feel like there's no way I could have had a normal stream today just trying to deal hunt and do all that stuff, right? So I'm going to actually put it right now to a vote. We're going to vote right now. I'm perfectly happy changing the thumbnail and changing the title and making this a normal stream. I do not want to add to the pile-on that's going on right now to like LMG and LTT, you know, fueling the fire, raising the pitchforks. But like I said earlier, you know, I'm someone who is a tech content creator. I used to watch more Linus than I do now, but I was just at LTX a couple of weeks ago. My last two videos were LTX related videos, even though those were more kind of like my own types of content. There wasn't that much LMG and staff and LTT in there, but I thought it makes sense for me to talk about this with my community. But, you know, we've done this in the past before. We've talked about artesian builds. We've talked about other controversies with like the manufacturers on stream. I've never once made a video and like monetized it or like put like a sponsor spot on it, because that feels weird for me. So we're gonna have a vote right now. Are we gonna talk about this controversy, or are we gonna have a normal stream? And we're gonna go with wherever people vote. I have a feeling what people are gonna vote, but I mean, if more people want to see a normal stream, we will go that route, and I will change up everything. It doesn't take that long to switch the thumbnail to a generic one and the title. So, Sam Gossing says that keyboard sounds nice. Where is it, Danny? It is a Keychron K4. Just what are the switches? Gateron, I think. Altimo or Gateron? Browns. And then I hand lubed them myself. Daniel Hulon says, I don't understand how Gamers Nexus can report on this, given that they are a testing competitor for LTT. They're allowed to report on anything that they want to. I mean, tech content creators have made content about each other since the beginning of time. Not even just tech content creators, other content creators in the same kind of space, whether it be like financial, educational, and stuff like that. I think it is doable if you remain impartial and report on facts, and you don't just report that much subjectively, but more on objective. Gamers Nexus had a lot of objective data in their video, so yeah. Raul M says, why not fuel the fire in something that's wrong? Well, I'm not trying to fuel the fire. I'm trying to open it to discussion because, like I said, I've seen a lot of problems with all this. So if it helps, Tech Deals title their live stream the same too. Did Tech Deals have a stream on this already? I was not aware of that. Did you get... Yeah, I got invited to LTX. I was at LTX. A lot of content creators, tech content creators, were invited to LTX. Okay, so we got the votes in. I mean, we got plenty of votes. If people want to talk about the controversy, more than double the amount of votes for talking about than not. And we're gonna keep this as civil as possible. This isn't like, you know, a witch hunt or anything like that. And this is also not going to be like a coming to the defense of Linus, because I don't think Linus needs a medium-sized channel like myself coming to his defense. And I don't feel like I need to do that, regardless of me going to LTX or anything like that. So I just feel like this kind of affects all of us. Not when I say us, I mean not just me and other content creators, but you guys all as viewers, because there are a lot of fans of LMG and LTT, you know, some fans spanning back like, you know, 5, 6, 7, 10 years. So this isn't something just to be taken lightly and then to be swept under the rug. I got a lot of hate by giving an unbiased opinion in my stream, lots of subs, and people mad I didn't get angry at LTT. Yeah, so this is something that I feel like shouldn't be happening. Like, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I don't think Jason is on that much on Team LMG. But let's see how this goes when I go through all the I guess facts that have come out in the situation. So this whole situation makes me think of that movie Don't Look Up, namely the part where they say he needs media training. Wendiku says, Booth 732, do you know what a hit piece is? What is that referring to? Gamers Nexus simply put out a hit piece on it instead of doing actual decent video about it. Gamers Nexus didn't try to make things civil. Yeah, so even in the chat, people have all the differing opinions on it. But okay, so first let's go over for the people who have not been keeping up with the news, because it has only been happening for the last couple of days. So what was it, 2 days ago, Gamers Nexus released a video, the problem with Linus Tech Tips, accuracy, ethics, and responsibility. So this is a 44-minute video. It's 44 minutes. We're not going to watch it here on the stream, but to sum it up, this is a video where Gamers Nexus Steve, I don't want to say call out. Is call out the best word for this? But this is where Gamers Nexus Steve addressed the issues that he had with Linus Tech Tips and Linus Media Group in terms of some of the way that they do their testing, the data that they've received, some in terms of ethics, in terms of like sponsorships and sponsored products being shown in videos, and the responsibility that they have. Because again, Linus Tech Tips is the biggest PC tech channel out there, at least English speaking. But if you want to watch this, I'll put it in the descriptions. Let me put it in the description right now for anyone who wants to watch it later, just for reference. So yeah, so in this video though, I guess we should start about the catalyst of how this all happened. So if you're not aware, during LTX, they gave tours to people, and during one of the tours, let me go to Murph's Gaming. This is a small channel that actually recorded the tour. What is going on? He made an 11-minute video where part of the tour this happened, and I truly think that had it not been for this video being released, none of this would have happened at this point in time. Eventually, I think something may have come out, but Where is it at? I think eventually something would have happened, but
by about 15%. This is a screwdriver prototype that Tynan and the team at Creator Warehouse are working on, so that potentially they can...
I had the clip of it saved. Let me try to go find it. But yeah, because I wanted to show you guys the clip to give you the context, because this is what called into question why Linus's accuracy and like ethics was questioned upon. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So
how many of you have seen...
Okay.
How many of you have seen a review of a component from LTT? You know, like a graphics card or a CPU? Yeah? This is where it happens. The difference between us and somebody like Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unboxed is we test new components, new tests every time. Every project that we do has new data. The difference between us and this is where it happens. The difference between us and somebody like Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unboxed is we test new components, new tests every time. Every project that we do has new data. This is...
Okay, so that is... Before the Gamers Nexus video came out, so I don't know how Steve from Hardware Unboxed came across this video, because Murph's Gaming is a small channel, you know, but this video he had got a lot of views because it was one of the first LMG tour videos that came out, right? It's at 173,000 views for a channel, you know, that is in the between 1,000 and 10,000 subscribers. So it was a part of his, I mean, you saw it there. It was a 20-second clip in an 11-minute video. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts, because we're gonna work through this slowly, right? Did any of you guys have a problem with that clip right there of the LMG Labs staff member specifying that they test everything for the most part, you know, brand new each time, and saying that that's what differs them from Hardware Unboxed and Gamers Nexus? Does Danny use Feet Finder? Okay. Yes, he was straight up lying. Is that a lie? So I'm not aware of whether or not that is a lie or not. But when I watched it, I didn't think it was as bad as what Hardware Unboxed Steve made it out to be. I didn't think... You're saying it was arrogant. To me, I don't think... He didn't say like, oh, our data is better, our data is more accurate, our data is more useful because we do that over these other channels. I think he just made a distinguishing fact that they do that. I think it was probably a mistake for him to name drop other channels like that, because that's what got this controversy like all stirred up in the first place. But from that clip, me personally, as someone who I'm going to tell you guys right now, and you guys know this if you've been watching me, like watching my streams or my content, but I am a bigger fan of Gamers Nexus and Hardware Unboxed than Linus Tech Tips. I watch their videos way more often, and I think they are more technically sound and accurate than Linus is at this point in time. Now, as someone who I would say more favorably leans towards those channels, I didn't think this was as big of a deal as people made it out to be, or as what Steve from Hardware Unboxed made out to be. But let's see. They stated in the latest video that it was indeed a lie. So what I saw was that in their latest video, they clarified it. And yes, I saw the apology video for anyone else who didn't see it. It wasn't a lie in that, how do I see? I'm not trying to come at the defense of Linus, right? But I saw what they said. What they basically meant to say is 99% of the time, because they do sometimes group the data together if there's like close product releases. You guys watched the video, right? You can back me up or confirm or deny what I'm saying is true or not. But when they clarified it in their latest video, it is true that they do not retest every single time, because when you have something like the 7600 or the RTX 4060 release, which is like a week or two away from each other, they use the same data sets for that point in time. But let's say a few months roll down the road, or like a quarter rolls down, or next year, they retest the data. So I don't see, people are straight up saying they're a lie, or they're purposely lying. I think it's just kind of semantics. I think for the most part, that statement is still true. But I feel like people are getting so angry at that fact that they're just straight up saying, oh, that was a complete lie. I would say it's more of truth than it is a lie, even though it's not 100% the truth. I'd say it's like 98 or 97% of the truth, because they do retest for different batches of projects that they do for GPU releases. It feels like more like rush production for tests more than lies. I mean, I don't think any. I have caught a number of mistakes from LMG videos. Not necessarily with like the data, because I don't go to them for GPU and CPU reviews and data. Again, I feel like Gamers Nexus and Hardware Unboxed is better than that. But I have caught blatant errors in their videos before. Just like minor editing errors that I can't believe gets past a team of that many people. So, Jason says, random employee is forced to give a tour and speak in front of a crowd and accidentally said something stupid. Yeah, and the whole thing about... See, so that's why I want to address everything one by one, right? So I personally think the whole... I don't remember what is this employee's name?
How many of you have seen a review of a component from LTT?
I don't know. I forget what this employee's name is because, again, I don't watch all their lab videos and all that stuff. But this has already been addressed. I think at this point, Linus has already addressed and apologized for this specifically. So, and this wasn't even Linus himself. This was one employee. During the lab tours, they had multiple people leading different lab tours. Like when I took the lab tour, this was not the person that was giving me the tour. So, I mean, I think this is something that I don't think Linus or any of the super upper level people would have control over. So to me, this is not as big of an issue as everything else that we're about to discuss. Andrew takes low, bro. Oh my god, you guys. Labs is still relatively new, even though the channel is old, getting their workflow. Yeah. So definitely, I feel like he could have said it better, and he could have said it worse too. He could have said, our data is superior because we did this. He did not say that. He just differentiated what they are trying to do to set themselves apart and make themselves unique. He just said, we retest every single time for batches of projects now that it's been clarified. Yeah, name dropping was definitely the problem in this. Just, but there's a difference. There's so many different responses a person can have to it, right? Like, I would feel a more reasonable person would be like, oh, okay, you guys think that you're hot shot for doing, retesting every single time instead of reasonable data. Then what about all the errors in your in your data and stuff that we found over the years? I feel like that would be a reasonable response. But for people to go and scream at the comments and at the subreddits, Linus is such a liar, look at this, I got him, gotcha moment and stuff like that, when I don't think this is really a gotcha moment on them. I just think it definitely could have been handled better. But in this day of the internet, if someone can find any little bit of clip and take it out of context, they will. So yeah, it was a mistake. They apologized for it, which is, I think, the best what else could they have done specifically for this situation to fix what one employee had said, aside from apologize, re-talk through like what it means to be when you like a tour guide or something in front of media or camera, like what do you have to prepare for and stuff like that. So I mean, I think this has been handled. I don't think it was as big of a deal, but the thing is, this caused the chain reaction. This was like the catalyst for everything else that has come. And there's much more, don't worry. People keep on bringing up Madison and things like that. I'm well aware of the situation. We can talk about that too, but we got to step through it one by one. All right, what's the next? Man, chat is going way too crazy. I'm gonna stop the. Man, is this slow mode? I feel like I put on slow mode, and the chat is still going way too fast for me to see. Nerd on a budget. Do you saw the Cortex video? Yeah, I saw the Cortex video. So for the there's so much stuff out there where even myself, who have tried to keep on top of it, like I've even been struggling to watch every single thing out. But I have seen the Cortex video. So if you guys don't know, Cortex is a channel who has already called out Linus Media Group in the past. He actually tweeted about it. The thing about the Cortex video, and I'm not going to talk about that because this is I'm not going to go and then now talk about other channels' coverage about the whole situation, because I'm just trying to talk to my own personal community and see what everyone its thoughts are. But according to Cortex, he thinks Linus is bad. That means Steve from Gamers Nexus is worse, which I don't. That is a very interesting take, and I don't think many people would agree with him. But if you guys want to watch the Cortex video, feel free to look it up, and then maybe we can talk about it next week or something. But yes, I'm very well aware of the Cortex video. Death Tech says Cortex is an absolute moron. Incoming drama alert on a budget. No, this is not drama alert. If this was drama alert, I would have made this a video. This is just a typical weekly stream, and this is the biggest topic that we could not have ignored even if we wanted to on the stream. So yeah, we're just going through it because this weekly stream, which is filled with, you know, some of the closest members that I have to my own personal community. This is where we could actually have civil discussions for the most part, and not, you know, rip at each other's throats and stuff like that, which I feel like in this day and age, that's pretty rare. And this LTT situation has kind of shown that people kind of go overboard when it comes to trying to cancel or like burn a company to the ground over something, when all the facts are still coming out. And yeah, and I think people have gone to the extremes on some of the stuff. There's plenty of reasons to criticize Linus and LMG about, but I've seen some stuff that is just like, you know, way out of left field. So Death Tech is speaking from Cortex, personal experience dealing with Cortex. Got it. So okay, yeah, let's talk about this now. Linus said we cannot afford $500 to redo this test because I just spent a fortune waterproofing my house by my own pool. I'm not sure if he said that directly, but that is two things that have happened, and I don't think anyone agrees with Linus's initial statement on this, and even his own wife Yvonne addressed this. Let's see if I can pull that up. So
I think Luke put it best.
Keep doing better that have created. Linus is a human gas molecule, staying relevant on Reddit that have created our current situation. Basically, YouTube video production workflow change years agree that we want and it's schedule. At least for now, criticisms that we weren't willing to spend $500 to test abilities. I can assure you that I've read the criticisms that we weren't willing to spend $500 to test a product, and as the one that manages the finance, I can tell you that couldn't be further from the truth. Linus made a clear and egregious judgment error regarding retesting a product he felt was impractical.
So I think one of the issues with Linus is that he sometimes speaks or responds without fully like sitting down, digesting everything going on, and coming up with a more thoughtful, thorough, reasonable response. Like if you guys saw his apology or response on his forum, let me see if I can find it. It wasn't a good apology or response at all, and my take from it was that it looked like Linus just sent that out without other people reading it over and giving him like feedback and, you know, constructive criticism on it. So I mean, this isn't the first time that this has happened, right? On the WAN show, plenty of times Linus has like kind of ranted on some things about, even though other people on his team, Luke in particular, has shown like a disagreement with, and Linus kind of shuts them down, right? So it's been shown that Linus himself, he I mean, you can call it an ego, you can call it being arrogant, you can call it being out of touch, rich millionaire, you can call it whatever. But Linus has a history of this. So, in terms of my thoughts on it, like I disagree with like Linus's apology video. I personally think that this apology video or this response video on their official channel, where they basically had all you got the COO. You have what is Yvonne's position again? He's CFO, right? Chief Financial Officer. Yeah. You have like Nick, who's like basically all like the products and merch. You have the head of like the cameras, or like the videography. You have the head writer, everything, head of production. Everyone's responses here. Like, I thought this video compared to what Linus put out on the forums as his response, they couldn't have done it. Okay, no, I take that back. They could have done it better. They had a couple of jokes in here.
Content.
And now I'm ready for this message from our sponsor.
Just kidding. Again.
That have been raised and how we intend to fix them with the money we'll make from our sponsor.
So aside from these stupid jokes that they decided to put in, I thought this response video was basically what we should have expected. When you get yourself into a situation like as a corporation that gets you in deep water and in trouble and have the mob coming after you, no response. Nobody's gonna be. You cannot appease everyone with a response video. There will always be people that say this response is not enough. You could have done better. Even though, like, what else could they have done? I think from this video, they show that they're pausing production, or I think that means pausing release of videos too, which I think is a good thing. What else they're gonna do that? They're gonna spend the next week, internally strategizing or doing whatever, and like thinking this through and taking care of what they need to take care of, right? But what else could they do aside from that? I've seen comments saying that all they're doing is stopping production. Like, what do you want them to do further than that? Do you want them to just shut their company down and burn it to the ground? Like, do you want them to just quit and basically, fire everybody and just close the doors and close shop? Like, it sucks because this video, it does come off as very corporate responsey, right? It's very, like, it's scripted. Everyone's reading off of teleprompters. They're all, like, sitting in a chair with a background. This is all well prepared. But unfortunately, as everybody knows, LMG and LTT has gotten to the point where they are a 100+ person company. They were valued at apparently $100 million is what their offer was to buy them out. They are a big company now, so I don't know if they could have given just like a shooting a response with their cell phone, like, apology video. People probably would have complained about that too. They would have said, oh, they couldn't even take the time to like add more production value. And no matter what, people who have already been set in their ways to like be super mad and like hate on LMG and LTT, they've already decided. Again, I'm trying to come at this from an unbiased, neutral, reasonable point of view. I think though, because of the way everything has shifted so much to like hate on Linus, people who are now in the center or neutral on it, if you don't also hate Linus, you are grouped into the people who are trying to defend him. Which, again, this is like the 4th time I have to say this. I'm not defending Linus. Hey, Danny, is it still okay for LTT to still have... Whoa, 24/7 tech tips? No. So, okay, I need to read chat more because chat is going so fast that even if I do only talk for like a couple of minutes, I'm missing so much chat. So I apologize for that. There's totally not my intention to like skip stuff, but is it okay for them to... No, I think they should take down their LTT TV 24/7 stream thing going on. Is that still going on right now? Is this an oversight? I think that, let's see, live stream, live. They are still going live with 385 people watching right now. So, is this an oversight by them or was this intentional? For me, I don't think they're making enough money on LTT TV 24/7, the live stream, to justify like the amount of hate and backlash that they would have for having it up. So if I had to guess, I would think that's an oversight because there is no strategical or financial move that makes sense to keep that up given everything that's going on now. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of strange in my opinion to have this up. I guess this kind of comes off as incompetency. Someone definitely forgot to turn this off. But yeah. People want LMG to close down or Linus to be fired. They smell blood in the water. I mean, yeah, I agree. Actually, that was one of the poll questions that I had for tonight. I actually wrote some notes up on this just because I knew chat would be going so crazy, and there's just so many things to cover that okay, so let's see, we talked about the retesting. I don't think anyone, no one disagrees that they should have retested and spent, even if they had to spend $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $10,000 to retest. The fact that another company, Billet Labs, they should have retested, came to the same conclusion, and then it would have avoided the drama, right? That's one of the issues about taking shortcuts, is that it could eventually come to bite you in the butt. And this isn't just applying to Linus, but all content creators in general. Like, I guess Linus being the easiest example is that they got away with, you know, putting together. I don't even know how bad of data they really truly had, because of course Gamers Nexus showed like plenty of examples of bad data, but given the volume that they've output, and the ones that Gamers Nexus put was only for like one chart of a video. Like, if you had to give a percentage, what percentage of bad data do you think Linus and LMG had in all the videos they've produced so far? Are we thinking? I think it's fair to say that 100% of their data was not bad, right? Of every single data point that they've provided in every single video over the years, what percent of the data was probably tainted? I don't even think it's probably close to 50%. We will never know, but I mean, we could go back and look through every graph and say, all right, all those make sense, all those make sense. Oh, that one's wrong. But like, what? Boris Hey Jude says 73.7% bad. Okay, I think that's being a little extreme there, right? 40% easily. Yo, CPPC Tech. I would actually love to see how you came up with that, because I have not watched enough videos of theirs to be able to comment on it, but I know a lot of other people have seen a lot of videos over the years, so. It felt like half. Okay, yeah. Okay, Demon Mint, but that's not my question. So Demon Mint says it felt like half of their videos with important data all had some form of editor correction or pinned comment. So I'm not asking what percentage of videos had at least one error. What I'm asking is, of all the data that was produced, what percentage of the data was bad, or that do you think is bad? Like, does that question make sense? Which means, like, if they had one chart where they tested like 100 graphics cards on one single game, and one of the graphics cards was wrong, that would still be 99% correct data, if that makes sense. So, like when Gamers Nexus Steve pointed out like an error, was it the GTX 1060 or RX 570 or something? That was one card on one game in a whole video of multiple cards in multiple games. So that doesn't make all of their data bad, but it does, you know, make for some pretty big mistakes that should have gotten caught. And people who do look at data, like a lot of data, especially performance with hardware parts, there's some stuff that should just look wrong to you if you know what you're doing. Like, if a graphics card should blatantly perform worse than another one, if it's showing, I think they said 300% like incorrect results, then you should be able to identify that and go back and fix it, especially for a team as big as LMG. So I agree with that. Coalition Gaming Chris says, if you're also just using one single source of info to make it... Okay, so I agree with Chris here. I think that this is one of the points that Gamers Nexus and other creators have brought up too. Linus and his team, they have a huge influence, right? They have the most subscribers out of anybody. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who have made purchasing decisions solely only watching LTT videos. Hopefully, now that this has happened, it teaches people to go to multiple sources, right? You shouldn't just watch one video and assume all the data is correct and all the assumptions and conclusions that was made from that video, is the only reliable source that you can get. I myself, of course, I go above and beyond whenever I have to buy something new. I could spend easily days, if not weeks, trying to look at something before I buy it, doing the research on it. So I bet most people, I would hope most people in like this chat, in the live stream chat, and people watching my videos, they also think that same way too. I would think so, because anyone watching my medium-sized channel, they must also be watching way larger channels, which already hopefully in itself shows that they're watching multiple sources to get their information. Brian Switzer says, big fan, Nitro Truck Switzer Blitz. All right, I don't know what this is a reference to, and I'm sorry if I should know that, but I think there's a lot of stuff going through my mind, and chat's going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Are you saying that you gave Discord Nitro, or is this something totally related? I'm gonna have to look this up, and now this is bothering me, even though this is totally off topic. Well, I try to read the rest of the chat. The rest of the chat. I think the most damning part of the original GN video was that all the LTT employees saying they should slow down work. Yeah, so if you guys weren't aware, this is not a new thing. Is it React? What would be the right word? Man, look at all this. If you type in LMG or Linus Tech Tips right now, I mean, this is just, well, there's a lot of videos popping up. How can I not find this video? What's it like to work for Linus? Here it is. That's what the video is called. I forgot what the title was. So yeah, in this video, they ask what it's like to work there, and an overwhelming response was that they do not have enough time. Even Linus himself has agreed with that. So this one's an interesting thing to talk about, because this was made 4 months ago. So to give you context from where I'm coming from, as a medium-sized channel, way smaller than Linus, I'm like 1/60th his size, but also I'm a one-person team, right? I do everything. I shoot all my videos, I script them all, I edit them all, I do all the emailing, dealing with sponsorships, posting, description, social media. I do everything by myself. So if I needed to make a change, I could just do it and it doesn't affect anybody. But for LMG to make a change, like if they wanted to cut down on the amount of videos produced, if they want to change their process, if they wanted to, let's say, overall improve their content, which it feels like a lot of people are wanting them to do, and that's what they say they're going to do with their latest response video, it takes time. I don't know if something like that is just as quick and easy to change over the course of 4 months or however long, since this has been raised. It could be that they are already, actually, let's ask the question in the chat. Since this video came out, because I'm sure there are some people who watch LTT more so than others, and more so than myself in this channel. Since this video has released, do you guys feel like there has been any quality change at all in their content? I guess since the beginning of the year, let's say, from the beginning of the year till now, has there been any shown of like quality improvements in their content? A la carte Sparta says, if they slow down video content, they would have to add, well, no. I mean, none of us know the exact like financial statements in the books that they have at LMG, but like let's say they slow down to 5 videos a week. Let's see, what's 5 divided by 7? That's 5 over 7. That's 80, almost. So that's 70%. So yeah, losing 2 videos would be about a 30% loss of sponsorships on LTT specifically. I know they have a million of other channels, but those other channels, they like do their own teams and stuff like that. So we're talking about, let's just talk about LTT, 15 million subs here. That gets probably the biggest sponsorships and the most sponsorships. So no, since this release, Linus has been trying to get out of CEO position. They're in a rough spot right now and leading up to LTX in heavy crunch time. Lots to change quickly with crunch was bad. Yeah, LTT definitely, I don't think helped because LTT took so much resource from them. No, I watch every video they put out and say it's only gotten worse. Says Glenn Carlson. The endings are weird sometimes. Nope, I unsubbed them since what video? Today's video? No, JG, right. Not since today's video. I'm talking about since the video where they clearly knew that their own staff and even Linus himself was kind of unhappy with the high like rate of production that they were having to release stuff. Like, did it seem like since this came out that they reflected on it and tried to improve, you know, to make higher quality? I know they didn't slow down at all, but did they at least? You don't have to slow down if you hire on more hands so that each person has less of a burden on them, right? But I don't know if that information is public, so we can't really speak on that. But you can speak on the quality of the videos to see if anything, you know, seemingly happened or not. I've unsubbed and canceled Floatplane sub now, especially after response. Well, so I think people who sub to Floatplane are like pretty, you know, there are more of a Linus fan than people who don't. Regardless of, you know, money being an issue or not. I think to be a a Floatplane sub member, I think this speaks to like what type of LTT supporter you were. So Winter, you saying that, I think that's huge, and it's not just you, right? I've seen people commenting on how they have lost thousands of Floatplane subs by this point, which I mean, I've never personally subbed to Floatplane myself. I was approached to see if I wanted to make to make content on Floatplane, but for me it didn't make sense. Like, I don't think I was never comfortable with like having this type of, my content is only restricted to people who pay, you know, a certain amount of money for it. So that's why I never did it. But I don't have any issues with people who have Floatplane and stuff. It never worked for me, which is why I never ended up making one. But I think Floatplane as a business model is just perfectly fine. The fact that it's tied to LMG, now they're taking a big hit because people are trying to, like, you know, unsubscribe and all that. Good. The whole argument of vote with your money. Yep, vote with your wallet is definitely a thing. I'm sure that they're going to be seeing hits in terms of like their LTT store merch sales. I don't know if they have a Patreon, YouTube memberships, Floatplane. I'm sure this is going to hopefully open up their eyes, right? It's down to 36.9k subs. They've lost about 1k. 1k over about 30. Let's just round up to 40. It's like 2.5 to 3%. I mean, we're just gonna see. All right, Billet Labs thing. I think we should definitely talk about that, because after the whole, you know, tour thing and the hardware unbox chiming in, and then Gamers Nexus Steve talking about that wasn't even like the entire issue. The whole Billet Labs thing, for those of you who did not know, Billet Labs, they made a video on LTT covered one of their water blocks. Where's that video? Is it even up here anymore? Oh, did I spell Billet wrong? This right here. So again, we don't have time to watch all of this. A lot of people probably already know what's going on, but for the few people who don't, this startup company, they sent Linus a $800 prototype cooler. Initially, they told Linus that he could keep it. This is based on the information that we know right now. Initially, because the emails have been leaked and stuff like that. Initially, they told Linus he could keep it and use it for whatever cool project he wants. But after they saw the video of Linus basically trashing it and saying it's not worth the money and it's a waste of time and money, they asked for it back. In which Linus or his team, they agreed to return the copper block, the prototype, back to Billet Labs. It ended up being that they never returned it, and then they actually had it in a PC where they auctioned it off at LTX. So some other person ended up buying this PC, and yeah, that's what happened. Now, there's a lot that went on throughout all of that. That's not the whole story, but that's the gist of it. My take on this is that is not okay at all. Like, you cannot be so incompetent that you agree to send something back and then you end up auctioning it. Now, regarding this whole situation, there's a ton of like people nitpicking and going over semantics and stuff. One of the big things is, I think Gamers Nexus, when they reported it on it, they said that Linus ended up selling it. And then Linus was like, I didn't sell it, I auctioned it. Which, Linus, come on. Stupid response. Like, you ended up walking back on your promise to send a product back. It ended up auctioning it, selling it. I don't care what the word is. You ended up doing something really stupid. And now it's in the hands of somebody else. Now, initially, I think the biggest issue here is, right, that if this prototype copper block got into the hands of a competitor who could reverse engineer it, that will be a big issue. Linus could basically bankrupt or sink the ship of Billet Labs just in that one fell swoop. I think it all worked out so that a competitor did not get a hold of it. I'm pretty sure they confirmed it. It was an individual that got it. If you look through, it's either on the forums or in one of the videos, someone has like a screenshot. It might have been Billet Labs themselves that said it, but we can already squash that because I saw, who is it, CPP Tech. You were talking about how it could have gone to the hands of somebody else. That's already been decided. But at the end of the day, something like this is such a massive oversight that, like, how can you keep messing up like that? This is me being unbiased too. Like, this is not me leaning for or against Linus. This is me as an individual looking at some third-party company, and this is the facts that came out. How could you say that when they promised to return the block to LMG, that nullified the first, email that Billet, or there was the first contract that they had in agreement that Linus could keep it for future projects. Them saying, okay, we'll return it, that basically nullifies everything beforehand. Then you have to stick to your word at that point. But he hasn't addressed this, and I don't know if it's ever going to be fully addressed. I mean, Linus's response to this was, we didn't sell it, we auctioned it, which is a little bit better, I guess. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like, if we had to rate it, like, on a bar chart, right? The worst thing that he could have done was sell it for personal gain or profit. The next worst thing, I guess, would have been to have auctioned it off for charity. And then the best thing down here would have been, like, just return the block itself. So there are levels to it. Auctioning it off is not as bad as straight up selling it for personal gain. But you need to read the room at this point in time, Linus, and just not differentiate it and just say, sorry, I messed up, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make it right. I think that's one of the issues, unfortunately, like we said earlier. At some point, you get too big. I don't personally know Linus. Only his coworkers, his family, his friends, they know him. But is it a thing of arrogance? Is it incompetence? Is it arrogance? Is it ego? Is it a combination of those things? Who knows? But They paid the amount. Yes. Okay. So I should wrap that story up because all these things, they are coming to conclusions on certain things, right? Like with the whole LMG Labs thing with drama about data accuracy, that circle has closed. With the whole Billet Labs thing, they agreed to pay Billet Labs whatever the amount they need to make things right. Cobra Katie has become a member. Thank you for the support. I think is this a renewal? This is a renewal. 19 months straight. Thank you. Yeah, and this is a good point to make. Danny, the reason Linus wanted to be known it was for auction for charity was because people online were accusing him of stealing it, selling for profit. It wasn't semantics. So I agree with you here. He should have approached it better though. I think the way it came off, he could have worded it way better, and if he had the help of others, like others of his staff, to look over it, they could have restructured the way that he responded to it in a much better way. Like, hey, I just want to clear my name, even though this doesn't make it any better. This was not for my personal gain. This was for auction. I apologize for it, and I want to make it right by paying them whatever amount of money it needs to make sense. So this is part of the issue too, because yeah, I saw people accusing Linus of, selling it for profit or stealing it, which is what I want to bring up now. And we're actually going to go over to the LTT subreddit and take a look at some of the stuff there, because so unfortunately we're an hour into stream. We got about an hour left before I have to go, and I'm trying to go through as much stuff as I can as things come up in the chat, but there's just way too much. So just bear with me. We're going to be constantly talking about stuff, but we can't talk through everything in the span of 2 hours. But we're going to take a look at here. So, and then people wanted me to talk about the whole Madison thing, which we can talk about it. I don't really want to talk about it because right now we have a response, or we have like a tweet that's put out by a former LMG member that, she says it was a toxic work environment, there was sexual harassment and misconduct going on, things like that, which are serious. Dude, that is huge. Like, that is a huge no. And I don't want to speak on it because I don't want to spread any misinformation. This is not me for or against LMG, but like, I think people need to kind of wait to see what happens, right? Right now, I see so much rampant misinformation, rumor spreading, and just assumptions being made. When right here, 4 hours ago, The Verge reports that Taryn Tong, the new CEO of LMG, said that there would be an outside investigator being hired to examine the harassment allegations at LTT. So they are taking the correct steps in doing this. Now, what I have been seeing, look, this is what I'm talking about. There's so much of a pile on and a huge pitchfork, like mob mentality going on. Take a look at this. Deleted Madison comments on YouTube apology video. More info and direct links in comments. So we can click on this. And the person deleted it. We can still see the picture though. Please let me still go back. All right, so here's the picture of it. Let me zoom in. So this is just a screenshot of comments being deleted and stuff like that. And it says, now acknowledge the Madison situation. That's 1,000 times worse. So basically a bunch of comments calling LMG out to respond about the Madison situation, right? If you guys don't know, you can feel free to look it up on Twitter. You'll find it instantly if you put Madison LTT. So if you go into the comments up here though, and then people are claiming posts on here get deleted as well. Let's see. Comment 5. Okay. So what seems to be happening is when you get on YouTube, and I can speak for this as a content creator, I have had comments from my YouTube videos deleted when they were perfectly fine and they had no issues. A lot of the times that happens because YouTube thinks spam is going on and you have to go in and manually do it. So it could be very possible that because all these comments about Madison are popping up, The YouTube algorithm could be hiding it and has to be approved to be shown, because someone just chimed in right here. I see a comment. Hearing about Madison's situation just shows there needs to be a reevaluation of the team, HR, and third-party audit. That was posted, has 5,000 upvotes, 400 answers, and it has not been deleted. So, whatever is happening, this person thinks it's not deletion of comments, because this comment would also be clearly deleted. This is not a defense of LMG, but I think people are running wild with assumptions, thinking like, oh, they're in damage control and stuff like that. No, there's a lot of things happening at 1,000,000 miles an hour that none of us can even comprehend what is actually going on. So people adding on to the dog pile, they're just unnecessarily just like, how do I explain this? The way that it was put earlier to me is like, there are so many people out there with legit criticism and comments that other people needlessly adding onto the dog pile without adding anything useful to say. They have nothing better going on in their lives, that this little bit of moment, this is their chance to try to shine and be somebody, because they don't have anything else going on better for them. What is going on in chat right now? It's a dog pile. It creates more noise on top of the actual issues. That's exactly what's going on right now, Pinky Tech. If you have a valid concern, feel free to voice it, but can you do it in a reasonable manner? I've seen, I mean, we can keep on going through the comments. They're being, let me see. So here's another person chiming in on that. They're being reported, so the comments about Madison that are supposedly being deleted, they are being reported by users, then deleted by Google. It has nothing to do with LTT themselves. The internet hive mind is just turned stupid one side, the internet hive mind is just turned stupid one-sided reporting. Other side is trying to roast LTT for something that has yet to be confirmed by any capacity. Actually, is happening from both sides, pro and out. So the issue, we've seen this in politics too. You have the super vocal minority on one side and the super vocal minority on the other side. They are the people who are getting all the attention, when most of the people operate in the center, in the neutral, unbiased, or maybe leaning kind of to the left or kind of to the right, but at least you're reasonable. Those people get drowned out by all the other super vocal people who just have the most unreasonable, like, unhinged responses. Hopefully Madison is doing okay and is in a better place mentally. Yes. So, I mean, I don't think anyone will disagree with this. Everything that Madison went through, I'm not going to repeat it on here because it is pretty horrifying. If you guys want to read it's like a multi-thread thing that she put out. If you guys want to read it, you can go look it up. But there was some horrifying stuff, very graphical, horrifying, and potentially triggering stuff in there. And that is not okay, right? So it is good that Linus and his team, or at least Linus, LMG and their new CEO is hiring an outside investigator to look into this, because that is the proper response thing to do. Now, they're doing this, and then you have stupid people going into the chat saying, what about the Madison thing? Address the Madison thing. You do realize that this is starting to enter the realm of like legal issues and legality, right? When that happens, you shut up and let the internal investigator or external investigators do their job, and you just don't say anything. It's not about trying to sweep things under the rug. It's not trying to, like, you know, save face or anything like that. That is just what you do. That is the norm. That is the standard, whether it be tech drama, controversy, or not. So anybody who is looking at the situation and saying, oh, they're just trying to keep it quiet and not address it, you are a part of the problem, and you're magnifying it. It's like a crime scene, exactly. It is like a crime scene. You don't want Linus or anybody on his team to start talking about any of these things, because that's not the official and correct way to do it. I watched Review Tech USA's vid on the Madison thing. He went over all the tweets. Yeah, if you guys want to watch other people covering the Madison thing, I'm willing to talk about, like, I'm willing to talk about that. But it was a very personal story from her that I feel like you should not get it from me. Like, you should read it directly from her and make, come to your own conclusions. Oh yeah, and Death Tech, I never said that you said Madison was lying. If anyone in the comments said that you said Madison was lying, that's the incorrect response, and that's the hive mind again going at it. Death Tech just made a comment earlier saying that people need to chill out and wait till all the facts are known. If him saying that means that he's a Linus defender or something, then you guys need to get your priorities checked, because that's the reasonable response to have. It sounds like you are does it sound like I'm defending LTT? Anyone who sounds out Linus here is probably on who calls out Linus? No. I didn't say that you can't call out Linus. There's a difference between doing, like, calling him out for the things that they've done wrong versus some of this stuff that we've seen on the subreddit where people are just clearly spreading misinformation. Like, I've seen a lot of misinformation. I've always been about the data and the facts, right? I think a lot of people into tech didn't do much at work today due to all their stuff, including myself. I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone who cares about the tech scene online, I guess, was very, like, trying to get caught up to speed with all this. Mr. 7 Digit said, you're such a troll, Mr. 7 Digit says, Danny is Team LTT. You guys are just gonna have to deal with it. What have I said that makes me Team LTT? If anything, I've criticized Linus. I haven't even given Linus any praise, actually, in this whole thing. I've either criticized them or remained neutral on some things and stated facts. But like I said, the whole pendulum has shifted so much that being, like, in the center or slightly against Linus has made me pro-Linus somehow. Why people don't speak out against LMG, the rabid fanatic fans. Yeah, so that is one of the huge issues. And now it's almost like there's a balance now, right? In the past, like with Cortex, even though I'm not saying I agree with Cortex or disagree with him, but Cortex has been someone who has been very vocal about his dismay of Linus and his issues with Linus. But when he tried to call him out in the past, people defended Linus to the point where it was pretty much dogpiling, right? So now almost the opposite effect is happening. There are plenty of people who are pro-Linus, like way too extreme pro-Linus, and then there's way too many people who are super, like, negative Linus, I guess you would call it, or against Linus, and now they're going at it. And that's why we see, if you look at the LTT subreddit, I mean, like, there's no normal discussion going on here. Everything is pretty much bringing up all this controversy. Like, you cannot do a Linus search and not, like, hit this. Like, I mean, I could scroll for this. Remember, this happened starting about 2 or 3-ish days ago. You cannot scroll through here and find a normal post at all. Like, I mean, we're scrolling, we just keep going. I mean, people are posting screenshots of other people posting about Madison. Like, this is all it is right now. So, which, again, is not a bad thing, right? This is like, it sounds like this is a much needed correction to fix any potential workplace toxicity, sexual harassment, and low quality, inaccurate data coming out from LMG. There's so many things that are gonna be hopefully addressed and fixed as a result of this, but in the course of 2 days, it's a lot to take in. I think we can all agree that social aspect, all sides, is toxic and terrible. People really can't maintain yeah, they can't. like civil discussion. I feel like for the most part, chat has been going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I've been trying to give like my take on this thing. But it seems like for the most part, we haven't had people like timed out or banned or comments removed. There are people in the chat who have been very like I guess given like more emotional or passionate responses, but it's been more civil than I could have imagined as of right now. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for being able to talk about something like this, and not like make this a complete mess of a live stream. So all right, I'm gonna try to read some more comments just because it's going like I've missed so much content. So I want to get, of course, your guys' thoughts on here as well. Madison even said she was getting death threats. I can see why she chose not to speak straight away. Yeah, and this is with regards to the crazy like LMG fans, right? To my knowledge, I did not see anything about her getting death threats from like, you know, LMG or LTT like official staff or anything like that. Which of course that doesn't make it right, but I just wanted to put the full context out there. And yeah, dude. Rabid fandoms and extreme fandoms, they're horrible. Modern social media is such a mess. It is indeed a mess. I feel somewhat guilty for I'm contributing to it in doing this stream, but I weighed the pros and cons of doing this stream, and I feel like this stream, for the most part, is a small enough community that we come here every single Wednesday to do this, and the overall views that this no one's gonna watch this video. I promise you, no one is gonna click my video, 2-hour stream, and watch it. And if they do watch it, hopefully they're influenced by me trying to remain civil and reasonable and not go extreme either pro or against Linus. Like I hope to be like one of the more reasonable people looking at this as a third party, and I'm trying to convince at least anyone who's willing to listen to do the same thing too, and not dogpile on one side of the aisle or the other. She needed to speak with the authorities instead of Reddit. Well, her thing came out on Twitter, and I mean that's one take on it. Here's the thing: you should never victim blame or accuse or anything like that. Going through a traumatic experience, people don't know how to like process the information or what happened, and they don't always they don't think as clearly as they would if they weren't in that situation. So saying she needed to speak with authorities instead of Reddit, that doesn't help anybody, right? She has taken the proper steps to hopefully get mentally better, as well as now external investigation is going to happen. So the right steps are taking place. Maybe they took place a little too late, but it happening is better than nothing. So people, and then we have other sides of the aisle, like she's not a victim until proven a victim. This is also true. So this is very difficult, and I personally, not regarding this like situation, because I haven't even fully kind of processed everything that I feel about this, but in other situations that have happened regarding sexual harassment that has been, released on social media, and sometimes it ended up being true, sometimes it ended up being not true. In the waiting period where you are awaiting the investigation, what is the proper response in terms of showing support or not? Because you don't want to victim blame, but then can you fully show support? I guess there is a way to show support, regardless of if it was a lie or not. I wouldn't think this is a lie, because it's all going to come out anyways. If anything, I think most people are going to be leaning on the side of believing Madison, but we'll know the true details and the facts from all sides once the investigation finishes. But this is a very touchy topic, and it's really hard to talk about. So that's why, like, you guys need to read it for yourself. But I encourage you to wait and not dogpile against Madison or against Linus or anyone until everything is sorted out. We need unhinged Danny. Dude, I do not. The only things I would ever go unhinged about is stuff that honestly doesn't matter, because for like the entertainment side of it, or because, you know, because it doesn't matter. But I'm not gonna go unhinged on stuff that's as serious as what we're talking about right now. Wait for the facts. I agree. Clearly something happened, but she now came fully out with accusations. She needs to handle the proper steps with this legally now to legitimize it. If not, it's just a Twitter rant. I mean, I think that this is a reasonable take to have. So hopefully, you know, other people could agree with that, and not just say that you're a Linus simp, Demon Mitt, because I know you're not a Linus simp, but. We need to see a heated Danny. Quick, somebody spent 400 on a 6600 XT. I have seen stuff that is unrelated to tech that made me super mad. Just last night, actually, I came across a video on YouTube of one of those internet pranksters that ended up getting someone arrested, and that made me really mad. But I mean, in terms of like the tech space, I can't think of anything that made me super unhinged or like upset. So. Michael, gotta head back to work. Take care. Madison needs to watch Billy Madison and smile for once. Okay, I don't think that's a... Unless that's a reference that I don't understand, I don't think that's that helpful. Demon Mitt says, I've been called a wide range of things already for having an opinion. Yeah. I mean, I know what Billy Madison is. I know that movie with Adam Sandler, but... where he's like he's an idiot man-child that has to go back to school so that he can inherit his dad's company, right? But the smile one for once, I don't know if that's related to it as a reference from the movie, or is that just in general you're saying she needs to smile? But that's besides the point. I've seen some of Madison's stream. Okay, she has smiled and has a like upbeat personality. Michael Levolte says the internet doesn't care about facts, sadly. Yeah. I mean, that's somewhat true. Like I don't think I would even have to look far. Let's see. So this also came up. I haven't had a chance to listen to this, but apparently there was a recording about during a meeting after Madison's departure. I mean, I can't speak on that, but that's one of the top upvoted things. This I would agree with. Did you put jokes and advertising in your apology video? Yes. What did it cost you? Any remaining respect we had? I mean, I agree with this here. They should not have put in any LTT plugs, even if it was a joke, into the, I guess you call it, yeah, the apology and response video, because multiple people apologized in that video. Snazzy Labs giving their thoughts on the whole LMG thing. The Linus, the LTT video, the monetization, again, the amount of money they would have made from monetizing this, it's not gonna be that much. Like, it was one video that I don't think, like, the way that this is being framed is as if so this person has a pretty reasonable response. I suspect by default whenever they upload a video, I wouldn't put too much weight on this. Let's see if there's any other responses. How do you, come on, minimize. Got a fun that week with no uploads. Oh, this is sarcastic, so that's fine. And don't forget the LTT store and merch ads in the apology video. As they say in my language, there are no small profits. This video is really not great and the jokes made. Okay. I'm just trying to see what like the different responses. Watch the video having to say Nick and Luke making small jokes that undercuts it. Yep, those jokes should not have been made. You should have treated it seriously. This sub is on a witch hunt. Okay, gotta make those $500 chunks of video fixes somehow. Yeah, so people are not happy with it, but I think this was definitely an oversight. The amount of money that they would have made versus how much they would have lost from people getting mad at them leaving it monetized, I don't think it was intentional for them to try to make money off of it. They have removed the monetization, and this is an interesting thing, right? Because again, this isn't even about Linus, but just anybody apologizing in general. If you make a mistake and you try to fix the mistake, and if you don't say anything about fixing it, people are going to call you out about trying to like erase it, sweep it under the rug, and act like nothing happened. So I think what I saw happen was that Linus, after they made that mistake, they made an edit saying like, hey, they edited the comments of that video, or like the description saying, hey, we edited it for this reason, you know, we took out the monetization. And then people even got mad at them addressing the fact that they edited it and made the mistake. So again, they totally screwed up in this situation, but I feel like there's nothing that they can do to make people happy. This is just something that it's going to take time for them to, you know, correct course, and for people to kind of chill out, think and process about it for a little bit more. I think they're definitely going to lose some fans for life, but I think more of the people who are in the center or slightly leaning for or against Linus, they're the ones who I think they'll stick around if, you know, LMG makes the right corrections, you know, to fix everything, or at least to try to well, what words am I looking for? To not only just fix everything, but to also right any wrongs that they have had in the past, to go above and beyond. The real question is, does it cost Danny $500 to remake a video? If I had to remake a video, no, it does not cost me $500. I'm not operating at that level. The only way that it would cost me that much is if I had a sponsorship, which I have had sponsorships at that much or more, and I had to delete the video, so I had to pay the sponsorship back. And then when I remade it, I didn't have that sponsorship on that new video. But it definitely would not cost me $500 because I'm a small channel. My time is not worth that much, unfortunately. Was the D brand plug at the end of the video count as a sponsor? It doesn't. The thing is, so their whole response video, if you guys should definitely watch this, obviously inform your own opinions. I have a feeling a lot of people have watched it, but the thing is, I feel like they put those joke plugs in and stuff like that because they wanted to not make a typical corporate monotone, like soulless video. They could have just made a video that was like, we are sorry for what we have did. We realized that it was wrong, but now we are trying to fix it. These are the things that we're gonna do to fix it. Like they could have done a monotone video like that, but they wanted to show people that like, hey, we are still here. We understand what's going on, but I think it was just you know, bad judgment to put in those jokes. There are different ways that they could have shown that they are still who they are without plugging D-brand, LTT store, screwdriver, etc. The jokes are what LTT is. Yeah, so some people had no problems with the jokes. Some people had a lot of problem with the jokes, as you can see from the subreddit responses. Like all these people, there are people who clearly have me. I'm of the opinion of they shouldn't have put that in the video. I'm not gonna read into it any more than that. I don't think they should have put it in the video. It was bad judgment, but I'm not gonna crucify them for it like some people are. So I don't know. I don't typically have super extreme takes on a lot of things. But that's just me. I don't know, man. I'm a 34-year-old person with like other things in my life going on. I'm not trying to downplay this situation at all, but I have a feeling that a lot of the people who are super into this drama and are consuming themselves with it, I have a feeling that they need to go outside more and get some other hobbies and do some other stuff. Yes, criticize Linus, give your opinion, but afterwards, you know, move on and let the blocks fall where they fall. Let the internal investigation happen. Let them correct course. Let them make the firings that need to happen. Restructure their organization. Show people out the door if they need to, and then see where they go from there. Shauner says, yeah, I'm pretty over this topic. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make a video on this. Like I said, I wanted this just to be for the people who attend the weekly streams to talk about. And then yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think we're gonna stream about this next week. I'm supposed to have Braythorn on the stream. We're supposed to talk about pre-builds next week. So yeah, this is gonna be a one and done thing. Just because I had a feeling there was not a way we could just ignore it tonight. Chat would have been filled with all this stuff. What? You look like 20, dude. Show us what you eat. Yeah. So I know I come off like I look like, some people say I still look like I'm like 17 and stuff like that. But as you grow up and mature and have other things going on in your life, you slowly start to step away from this kind of like internet drama and stuff. I mean, you could call me hypocritical because we're even talking about this on this live stream, but I feel like, again, I'm staying pretty unneutral and unbiased. If anything, I've criticized Linus more than I haven't. And I just want to drive civil discussion because just all the stuff that I've seen on both sides of the aisle has just been kind of disappointing for the last 2 days. Internet drama has nothing to do with it. What did you have to give up in that deal with the devil to look 23 forever? Dude, have you seen Asian... I feel like this applies too, but have you guys seen this meme? This very much applies. So the average Asian aging process, now they show a woman or you know, a female in this image, but it's like age 18 looks like that, age 20 to 30 look like that, even 30 to 50 looks like that, and then boom, you hit 60 to 70, you look like this, and then you're 120 years old about to die. Ooh, Kinetic, that's a good question. I'm gonna answer that. Yeah, so they need to remake this for a male version to see what that looks like. But one thing, let's see, Warrior Bing Bing, what's her name? Who's the actress? Bing Bing. What show was I watching, or what movie? Oh no, I was watching The Meg with Jason Statham. Wait, no, not Fan Bing Bing. Who was it then? Sorry, I'm getting the name wrong. The Meg. Lee Bing Bing. Lee Bing Bing. No. Lee Bing Bing is not 40. Lee Bing Bing from the movie The Meg is 50 years old. Yeah. Have you guys seen the movie The Meg? She is 50 years old. It is crazy. Now, you could say it's plastic surgery. I don't know if she's had plastic surgery or not. But this is the Asian genetics at work here. So, yeah. I mean, I did not do any deal with the devil. This is just what it was. So, she's 50 years old. There's plenty of other... like, every time I watch a movie where I learn about, like, a new Asian actor or actress, and then I find out that they're, like, 60 years old, even though they look like they're, you know, like 30 or 40 on screen, it blows my mind. But, yeah. All right. What deal did she make exactly? All right. That was just some lightheartedness because we're just going with the chat right now. I do want to go back to this because I think this is pretty important. Do you think LTX influenced your opinion in any way at all? So the interesting thing is that LTX happened, what, 2.5, almost 3 weeks ago, right? Before any of this drama happened, LTX happened and people went and all that stuff. And, you know, my latest 2 videos on the channel were at LTX. Now, I do have to say, while they were at LTX, the focus was not on praising or highlighting LMG or the LTT crew or anything like that. When I went to LTX, my goal was to meet up with viewers and to try to help give away free stuff, you know, and have fun competitions and stuff like that. If you guys watch the videos, that's what the focus of the videos was about. LTX, aside from being mentioned in it, like at the beginning or the end, that was it. So, I would say LTX did not influence my opinion on this whole situation at all. I do not think I'm being any more lenient or any more harsh on LMG as a whole based on LTX. you need to separate the different things. Even though, you know, LMG does put on LTX as a whole, if you look at what it is, there's a lot of other creators, there was a lot of tech fans, not just LMG fans, that went to LTX. There was a lot of companies that put in work to be there. There was a lot of LMG staff that aren't a part of like the writing staff or the video side of things. There was, you know, a bunch of people that made LTX happen. And now that this LMG thing is happening, I've seen a lot of people go to LMG, like other videos from LMG or that are LTX related, like Sarah GT's video. I saw a comment on there saying like, you should denounce Linus or something like that. I was like, dude, Sarah GT went to LTX. She made a video about it 2 weeks ago. And now you're going to go on other creators' comments, bringing up this drama to them who has nothing to do with it. There needs to be some separation. So going back to this, answering this, LTX did not influence I can easily say LTX does not influence my decision or my opinion on what is going on right now with the controversy. Linus talked to you at LTX. Does Linus care about other smaller channels? I mean, I speak from experience. Yes, Linus. Like, if you went up to talk to Linus, whether you were a fan, whether you were Jay's 2 cents, whether you were like Coalition Gaming, who is a medium/smaller channel, if you went up to talk to Linus, if he had time, he would talk to you. So I'm not trying to defend Linus in any way. I'm answering your question. Does Linus even care about other smaller channels? Him messing up like data points on a video, him selling or, you know, auctioning, selling whatever, a water block, him having a toxic work environment, oh man, that's a bad one, and we're gonna have to see what comes out with that. I think that's causing people to like come up with so many other assumptions about him and his team. You're trying to understand his personality? Yeah, I mean, honestly, isn't that where the "you should never meet your heroes" thing saying comes from? Maybe the personality that he has in front of people at LTX and one-on-one interactions and on the videos aren't his true colors. It's really hard to say. But again, is it negligence, oversight, actual arrogance, ego? What is it, right? I can't say. If you believe in a god, only God and Linus and maybe his wife and close friends and family would know that thing. But the rest of us, we would just have to assume. Coalition Gaming says, LMG invited me to LTX as a feature creator in 2019 when I had less than 10,000 subs. There isn't really any question of his support to smaller channels, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, Linus invited Murph's Gaming, who at the time had like, I think 1 point something thousand subscribers, if I'm not wrong. The person who created the LMG Tours video that started all this controversy. I don't think it's a question whether or not Linus supports smaller channels. He put on LTX and invited and helped pay for small channels to come to a place to meet fans and to meet other content creators. That is completely separate from the controversy that's happening now. Yes, it is by the same company that this is all happening, but I think you really have to separate everything. Arrogance and ego comes with the territory of being top dog. I would agree with that. Yeah, that is not wrong at all. So I'm actually not 100% sure about the anti-union thing. Was this a WAN show? Was this a specific Twitter/forum post? Was this a dedicated video? His stance on the whole anti-union thing. I know he said that we treat our employees so well that they don't even need a union. But I don't know the union laws up in Canada and stuff like that. So it was WAN in tweets, yeah. Rad Robot says, I don't think Linus is a bad guy. I think he got sloppy. I agree with that. There are people out there who are trying to paint Linus as malicious, evil, and all those things. I personally don't think that's true, and this is regardless of. I don't even have like direct ties to LTT. But like, I think it takes a type of person, a real type of person, to be evil and like malicious in a lot of these things. And to me, it's more like someone that lost their way and like, you know, got too big for their own good. That doesn't necessarily make them evil, but they just like lost sight of their priorities, maybe. So he never said he was anti-union. He just said that he hopes his staff does not feel the need to union. All right, see, let's talk about misinformation right here. We got people saying who straight up said only badness can happen. Well, I'm not going to talk about the union stuff. I'm just addressing him bringing it up. But so we have one person saying he has an anti-union stance, and then another person saying he never said he was anti-union. He just said that he hopes his staff doesn't feel the need to unionize. I don't have the clip to pull up right now so that we can debunk this, but I mean, who's telling the truth here, right? This is the type of like misinformation that I'm talking about, where people can take something and stretch or warp or manipulate the truth to make it something completely different, and then all of a sudden you have dogpiling on. Danny is now the Yoda to Linus's Luke. I think I saw people trying to drag Luke into this. Like, throughout all his discussions, people are saying, hey, Luke and Yvonne and maybe a handful of other people seem to be the voice of reason at LMG. And then people are like, no, man, not Luke. He was what's it called? He had plenty of opportunities to like to go against what Linus was saying and things like that. And then people are like, no, dude, did you see live on the WAN show? Anytime he tried to bring something up or try to oppose Linus's opinions, he got shut down. So it's just like, I think people just need to chill out. I don't think they need to chill out to give Linus like breathing room or to like, you know, in any defense to Linus. I think people need to just chill out though, because more facts are still coming out and some of them will be refuted, some of them will be proven. So just work with what we know and don't go overboard on attacking one side or the other. The current target is James, their head of writers. Something's kind of lining up not in his favor. What do you mean by that? Luke is the GOAT. Don't give him a hard time. Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, people like Luke and say that he is pretty drama-free in all of this, but I've only had a couple of interactions with Luke one-on-one. I had no issues with him. It's pretty chill. We talked about tech, we talked about non-tech stuff, so Luke honestly takes, yeah, Luke, if anything, does not agree with Linus, but agrees with chat with a lot of these stuff, so. Oh my god, a merch plug. That's the stupid Stream Elements bot, guys. I'm sorry, I did not go in ahead of time and remove all the Stream Elements, like, notification thingies. If you guys think that's me trying to profit off of this, because, I mean, by this point, anyone who wanted merch already got merch, right? So, don't buy the merch. Do not cancel me for having a stupid automated bot. This is not the first time I heard of employees being mistreated. Am I a shill? Yeah. In before they cancel you for leaving. Oh my god, donations. Yeah, I mean, no, I think we had someone join membership earlier, but it's like, dude, people, I would see people reaching that much, thinking like, oh, this is a way for him to profit. Yo, you think like one channel membership join and one merch sale is gonna like make any bit of difference compared to like saving your reputation? Come on. People gotta think a little harder than that. Oh my god, you guys. Y'all are trolling right now, okay? Danny, did you see James responded to my comment about my loss at the PC Tech Challenge? The wording timing wasn't great. No, oh wait. On your video? Let me see. The wording and timing wasn't great, you say. Let me go to cheated. James, did you pin it or like it? James. Oh, you okay? You DM me. Oh, okay, here it is. It's on Twitter. When was this? Oh my god, IO9. You guys are just being trolls right now. But alright, let's see let's pull up what he said. I'm sorry man, those tech support speedruns were super challenging for me and could have been a lot better. Wait, this comment right here? This doesn't seem too bad. August 15th. So, dude, who is this Jared person? 0 followers, 0 following. This is Chris posting his video about his competition against Theo Joe, and the fact that whether he cheated or whatever, but James responded and just said, sorry man, those tech support speedruns were super challenging, just commenting about how it was difficult. And then this dude just has to come in and be like, yeah, what about the sexual harassment allegations? You guys, I'm not saying this is anybody in this chat, but like, people, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you can have legit criticism for LMG and stuff, but there are right places and right times to do it. Going to every corner of the internet to other content creators, like, posts just to say this, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, you're a loser. If you did this on a Gamers Nexus video, a Hardware Unbox video, if you did this on the LTT subreddit, if you did this on PC Master Race Reddit, where this is applicable, that's totally fine. If you do that right now in this chat of this stream, I wouldn't even be mad at it. People have already called James out for making sexual harassment jokes. But to do it like this? Oh man. Oh my god. I cannot with the social media culture. Let's see. So Demon Mitt just sent me this. This is LMG's response to it, and I'm not, man. Here's their response. What the heck? August 16th, 6 p.m. Oh, Demon Mitt is, I think, or maybe this was a screenshot from someone in a different time zone. We're taking Madison's allegations seriously. We are conducting an internal assessment. That's the right thing to do. We're committed to publishing the findings and implementing corrective action. Yep, that sounds right. Thank you for your patience. Please allow us time necessary to be as thorough as possible. Yep, that is all pretty standard. Unfortunately, people are going to say, oh, that's corporate mumbo jumbo. That's just like a saving face PR response. What else do you want from them? No matter what they do, people are going to come crashing down on them. Again, this is not me defending them. This is me being just a neutral party looking in. In addition to our existing report system, both anonymous and otherwise, we've proactively reached out internally today to encourage our team members to report any workplace bullying or harassment. That's good. These allegations do not align with our company's ethics or values we preach internally. Preaching and practicing are two different things. So yeah, hopefully they start more practicing of these things that they preach. We aim to provide inclusive work environment. I mean, I don't think it was a question about inclusivity. It's just, I think it's really easy to lose your way when you get so big. Plus, a lot of things that may come off as jokes and stuff to like people who are closer to each other may not come off to other people who aren't as close, right? Like, I'm sure there are jokes that I make within my internal like group of friends at, like, let's say LAN party stories, that might be taken or rubbed off the wrong way from people who are not like close friends. So, and I'm sure there are times when we've had our LAN parties, we have said things that are not okay to say, you know, like, not anything like super bad, but just from a PR, like, if it was public or something, that you could probably be crucified for it. So this happens, I'm sure, at every workplace. You can probably never get rid of it, but you need to minimize it as much as possible. So, I mean, this is their full response. We'll see what happens as a result of it. Let's see, this was on Twitter. Now you gotta see what, right here, this is the post. 2 hours, oh, this was posted 2 hours ago, 7,000, okay. Who is this person? Who is Alex Maxim with 2,000 followers, 1,000 following with the blue check mark saying, publishing the findings. You won't publish everything though. I how many times I gotta repeat this? I understand criticizing Linus, but what the hell is this comment? What is this? What is social media? HR isn't to protect the employees, it's to protect the company. Rubbed of the wrong way. Sometimes people just say things to say things. Mouth open, head empty. That is exactly what this comment is. Let's look at the replies. Okay, publishing the findings. How do we know they'll even be accurate, especially... I mean, if this... Dude, you guys, I don't think people truly understand, like, the type of investigation and, like, the severity and magnitude that this is going. You can't hide stuff like this once it gets big enough and if it goes to the court of law. Do people not realize this? People, they have given a response saying that they want to fix the issue, and you already have the top 2 comments. Oh my god, how are these the top 2 comments? Is it because they pay for the check mark? A bunch. Here's the thing. I'm not saying all people who buy check marks are losers, but I have noticed a trend where a lot of people who buy check marks are losers. Not everybody who buys a check mark is a loser, but a lot of people who do. So... yeah, algorithm will push X blue users. I hate Twitter. First of all, this website's called Twitter, not X. But I hate Twitter. My feed has become blue check losers at the top of my comment feed, and they usually don't have much of like anything to say. Abrona says so this is one of the smaller creators that was there, from an RG rig reboot winner to this, and it's only getting more interesting. I mean, this is just kind of like just like commenting about it, but I don't think this is as bad as like some of these ones. This is the right step. I hope all the employees know they are supported. If they need to speak out for help, you're not alone. So we got Reasonable in here. I thought this would be a boring week. So some people have trolly comments, which are like, honestly, trolly comments like this are fine. But for like assumptions like this, I don't know, man. Stuff like this is just annoying to me. and again, does that make me a Linus defender, or does this just make me a reasonable, you know, unbiased person? Am I missing something here? What does bad tech reviews have to do with the court of law? I am perplexed. If you just tuned in, there are sexual misconduct as well as workplace toxicity allegations that have gone on. So now there's going to be an external investigation. Like an external entity doing an internal investigation, if that makes sense. I got in late, but to me, it's just smaller streamers trolling big streamers for clout. I mean, I feel like a lot of this is done for clout, and you could call me a hypocrite for having this stream, I'm doing this for clout. If I wanted to do this for clout, like I said before, I would have made a whole video and thrown sponsor ads and monetized it. You guys should not have seen a single ad on this entire stream because I demonetized it. Yeah, it is a bad assumption. People who don't know what the hell they're talking about just like talking to feel important. That's why, here's the thing. Let's talk about blue check marks for a moment. I don't think everyone, like there are legitimate reasons to want to buy the blue check mark from Twitter. It lets you post longer videos. It lets you post longer comments. I don't think it has anything to do with actual authenticating the person, because Twitter could have done that without requiring the check mark. They should have required like social security number or ID verification or something like that. So I'm kind of still mad and salty at Twitter for making $8 what makes you more verified than someone who doesn't pay $8. But what I've noticed is that people with nothing going on in their lives, who are like literally doing nothing except going around commenting, trying to like get likes and follows and clicks, they are the types of people who are gonna weigh in with the dumbest opinions all over Twitter. Not even just about the LMG controversy, but about just anything you see on Twitter. My feed has been filled with blue check bad takes ever since it became a thing. Have you guys noticed this as well? Or do you guys not use Twitter as much? I only use Twitter because of the whole tech content creation side of things. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I probably wouldn't have used Twitter as much as I have. SSN for socials, yeah, you're right. SSN for socials, no one would use it. Then what would be a valid way to verify people then? I mean, some people might say ID cards might be too much too. I'm not saying like that's the best solution, but I think there needs to be a way to hold people accountable. It's too easy to make a Twitter account under an anonymous guise, as well as get a blue check mark to make you seem more like verified or more, I guess, more legitimate. That anyone can do that to just troll and be huge dicks and like non-contributors online. Like there are people who do that, and there's got to be a better way to verify then. $8 is not it. You know how I think in is it China where they have the kind of like the online internet social media passport or whatever. It's basically like this profile that you have that goes with you no matter what you do. If you sign up for websites or do anything like that. Is it South Korea? Now that, I feel like that is a very extreme, that's like a very social credit card. Or social credit score, that's what it is. So that's a pretty extreme way to approach it. Like the Asian countries that are doing that is pretty extreme, but I can kind of see why they want to do that. And there should be a less extreme way of doing it, because it is way too easy for people to just go online and be completely toxic, attack others, and just basically be like the worst menace in society. And there's no repercussions because they can just make another account when they get banned. They can just continuously do that. If they get IP banned, they could just use a VPN. There's so many workarounds, and social media being such a prominent like aspect of communicating now, like you have like a bunch of regular people being drowned out by, again, like the crazy vocal minority. It's not extreme, it's control, it's power, it's repressive, it's oppressive. I mean, I don't disagree with you there, but there needs to be a balance between making sure people act right versus not. That would of course, yeah, that would never fly in the US because of like, I mean, you could say freedom of speech, but is going onto Twitter and calling people the N-word all day, I mean, should that be protected under freedom of speech? I think most people would agree no, but some people... The internet is real life too, with its limitations, but it affects our daily life too, so it needs to have its checks and balances too. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think most people would agree that the internet is real life now. There are some boomers who probably think like, oh, that's not, but I mean, you know, when people get swatted and get killed because a false police call was made to like a gamer or streamer's house, death threats, doxing, leaking people's address, that's all real life and that's all on the internet. So Freedom of speech, yeah, that's actually a good point. And it's also freedom of protection from like being jailed and stuff, but not freedom from what's it called, repercussions. That's a good take. Danny is not real. I met him at LTX, can confirm. Brett's in the house, which I was hoping Brett would at some point show up, because this goes back to the discussion that we were having earlier. If you try to remain neutral or unbiased at all, you will face backlash. Brett, in his video, when he was talking about Linus specifying that he auctioned and not sold the video, even though Brett was on the whole side of Linus was wrong in doing it, because he was not too adamant, or because he wasn't too extreme in vocalizing his, you know, his disapproval of what Linus did, people took that for him defending Linus in some sort of way. They totally manipulated and twisted the words that came out of his mouth and incorrectly labeled him as like a Linus defender. Like, Brett is Linus Jr., so it's expected. Yeah, so it's just that type of crap that's I've seen for the last 2 days. But Brett, unfortunately, the stream is kind of, I can't take my comments too seriously these past 2 days too much. Yeah, I mean, anyone who is covering or talking about this, I'm sure is gonna have a handful if they do want to read the comments. So Brett's take was completely fair. I agree with it. A lot of people who are like just blinded by anger and want to join the mob, they don't see it that way. Dude, Brett, if you have anybody who is reasonable right now, trying to remain unbiased and neutral, it's shifted so much on the spectrum of for or against Linus that now we are grouped in with the pro Linus team. It is ridiculous. Yeah, rational people get out. Exactly. Alucard Sparta, this is another reasonable take. I'm just waiting for the results at this point. Not much we can really do about it. That's right. There's not much we can do about it. We could rely on the information as it comes out, but you need to look at the data and really think critically about it, and not just read all of the, like, you know, anger-based responses to all of them. I mean, I only watch Linus for entertainment. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people agree with this take. Though, it's so weird. The whole situation has blown up to not just like, bad data in videos now, to the whole investigation with the sexual misconduct. So, yeah, this is, I mentioned this, where did I mention this? But, I said this earlier, I think, before the stream even started, that, this is not the first time this is happening in the tech or gaming scene, right? I think for me personally, something that, that I was kind of affected by is everything that happened with the whole Blizzard lawsuit, Blizzard Entertainment, and with the sexual misconduct and harassment that happened there, because I'm a longtime Blizzard fan. I definitely did not support Blizzard in any of that controversy at all. I agreed that they were wrong and they needed to take the right steps to right everything. But, I mean, it seems like a common theme in the tech or gaming sphere, where you have like this kind of tech bro kind of culture. And I mean, it happened at Riot Games. It happened at a number of other studios. Now it's happening at a YouTube channel, even though they're a big company now. So this might not be the last time something like this happens, but having it happen to the biggest company or biggest YouTube channel first, this is pretty crazy. So Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about that. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Obviously, not into the detail that could have been, because, I mean, we got stream chat to go over, and this is a limited time stream. You would need like a really long video of only talking facts and not even discussing it to go over everything. So. Oh yeah, you're right. Rooster Teeth, which again was not just a YouTube channel, but then became a big multi-person organization that covers the tech scene, right? The tech bro culture. So yeah, well, I totally forgot about Rooster Teeth. That was a big one. It's funny because if Linus just decided to listen to the haters and close up shop, they'd be mad at that he laid off 120 employees. He cannot win. Yeah, so I was gonna we're gonna come to an end in the stream soon. I wanted to run this poll because I cannot be late for my wife's birthday dinner. So we're gonna try to end with this major question, which I feel like I have the answer to. Oh, jeez. 35 character? Alright. Poor Melissa has my snake expo. Nah. We still have some time before dinner starts. I never really watched Linus. I really don't know why people are making videos about it. Let Linus and everyone else involved respond. Yeah, and again, the hypocrisy of me making this stream. So, if you were to read the responses on this, it would seem like people just want Linus to close up shop with how angry and mad that they are, right? But they could do that, and like Jason said, if they did just quit, like a lot of people who are super angry want them to, people will be out of jobs. People would have said he would have taken the easy route out because he's a millionaire and it doesn't financially impact him and stuff like that. Or most of the people in here are voting LMG needs to fix the problem and do better. And I think that's the reasonable response. So thank you for everyone in the chat being reasonable about this. Will the controversy be a topic for dinner? I don't think so. No, the thing about Melissa is, I mean, she supports me as like a content creator, but aside from that, like she doesn't follow any other tech content. We don't talk YouTube all too much. I mean, we talk about it as much as like a normal couple would talk their like jobs and stuff, right? Like maybe throughout the day for a little bit, but then we talk about other things that we want to do and plan and stuff like that. So yeah, this is not going to be the topic of her birthday dinner tonight. What if this happened for the LTT Expo? That would have been, I don't even know what would have happened. Would they have canceled everything? Would they have put it on and then anyone who attended would have faced backlash? Yeah, that's just like the what if game though. So many other things could have happened, so I think there might be more options like fire. Oh yeah. So that's the options for fix the problem for me. They didn't let me put more. I had here. I'll put what I had copied and paste. This is what my original option would have been. LMG restructure, which includes firing of people. Rethink their strategy and improve moving forward. So the YouTube poll gives you 35 characters, so I had to delete it and make it as short as possible. But I think the fix the problem is all encompassing is all that. Yeah, I mean, if Linus has to be fired because of this, then I mean, kind of sucks for him because I think Linus is still passionate about tech and enjoys being on camera and doing things he does. He has enough money to last the rest of his life and maybe his whole kid's lifetime. He doesn't need the money. So if they had to fire him and he couldn't, like, you know, do what he loves doing, that would suck for him. I don't know if that's the solution that needs to happen. We don't know who is at fault. Him being at the helm, from what we've seen from other companies, yeah, they usually remove the person who is at the helm, which for the majority of this controversy was Linus, not the new CEO Taryn. But it's, well, yeah, we'll see. As long as his wife still has a job there, I mean, we can't even say that right now, right? We need to see what the investigation says. Anybody could be a part of the team that was the issue there, so let's not just make assumptions. Yeah, here, Brett, I'm gonna give you mod just because I trust you, and I feel like you might have more to say that the okay, standard mod. Yeah, let me give you mods because I have a feeling you have a lot to weigh in on and you're being limited by 30 seconds. I think because of the new CEO and his demotion, he gets a pass. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Feel free to weigh in on your opinions here. Just be civil about it. Yeah, it is better to wait for the investigation. Please no Brett mod. He is hungry for power. Get good Greggy, what is up? Get good Greggy, long time no see. I'm keeping my LTT sub to see if there's a redemption arc to all of this. I mean, just based on, I mean, real talk. Most of the people here have probably been watching Linus over the years. I know that's not the same as like knowing them in person and things like that, but do you think that they have the ability to redeem themselves over time? Of course, this isn't just gonna be like a 1 week, 1 month time around, maybe not even a 1 year, but like, oh, I thought that was the OBS ending real quick. But yeah, do you think they can redeem themselves from this? I don't see any reason why not. Internal investigation, even though that comes out, even if that says that, usually with stuff like that, it's not like the whole company, like everyone, like 100 employees are sexually harassing people, right? It's usually a handful of people, and then the upper leadership, they either brushed under the rug or overlooked it. So it's not like they're gonna have to fire the entire squad. So we'll just have to see. UFD sucks, ban me, Brett JK. You guys are such trolls. Yeah, of course they do need to fix. They need to fix more than just the stuff. I feel like the whole Madison thing is like the biggest, most important thing right now, right? Because we're talking about like a human being here and mistreatment of a human being. That is different. Like that is different levels compared to incorrect data, to a piece of metal, which I'm not trying to downplay any of those things at all, but this, like, the Madison thing is at the top right now. Everyone is redeemable. That is true. There are other, like, big social media presences that have done worse and have come back from it. So we'll just have to see, you know, what they do and how long it takes. You can't have LTT without Linus, but you can have LTT if he's just a rank and a file employee. Well, I saw someone make a lighthearted joke saying it could be called Luke's Tech Tips, and you can still keep that branding. So, I mean, yeah, we'll have to see. There's definitely gonna be more responses from them, from like LMG as a whole, as well as Linus and other individuals. So, we just have to wait. Just remember, go into it being rational. someone's gonna just clip all these times of me reminding people to stay civil and reasonable, and they're gonna make it seem like I'm a Linus White Knight defender. Oh my goodness, I can see it happening. It has all compounded into a flashpoint that makes it complicated to discuss. Yeah, that's true, Brett, because even me going through all the things, even when I was just talking about the whole data issue, it quickly became the Billet Labs thing, and then people quickly brought up the whole Madison thing. And again, and like I said earlier, that issue, these issues are all separate, and then LTX as an event happening was a different topic. Like, you can't mix it all between and just make a blanketing statement and says LMG needs to burn to the ground. My biggest issue is Madison. Yeah, that is a huge issue. I think, I would hope most people would agree. Like, if anyone prioritizes bad data or like a prototype over sexual misconduct, I think they might have to have their priorities like rearranged. LTT is a Top Gear of tech YouTube. I didn't ever watch a lot of tech of Top Gear, but they removed like did they remove just Jeremy Clarkson or like the entire original like Richard and James too? But I hear Top Gear is not the same as its like former glory days. Everyone left? Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, the whole trio is gone. Okay. Did that all happen at once, or did they slowly one by one like get removed or left? The Mindchop thing might be old news, but it's some of the first evidence that Linus... I'm not going to get into this one. I know what the Mindchop thing was. And I saw, I think it was the parent of the Mindchop channel who made a post. But Linus responded to that. And I don't... This is the he said, she said. We have a response from both parties. You guys can read it and come to your own conclusions. But from what I read, it seemed like the whole Mindchop thing, like that was taken care of the way it should have been, but yeah. The Mindchop thing is 100% not on Linus. In my stance, the video was super respectful. He publicly called out the community for bullying. Yeah, so that was on Linus's crazed fans and not on him itself. And there's not, like... There is a level of responsibility you have for your own fans, but once you get big enough, no matter what you do, people are gonna act erratically. Unfortunately. Like... Nothing he could have done, I guess, aside from... even if he unpublished the video and everything, people would have said, oh, you deleted it. See, yeah, there's nothing he could have done moving forward that people would have been happy with. I think they approached it the way that they thought was best, and it didn't work out. It's horrible, but Linus didn't foster that issue. He actively fought it. Exactly, that kid was not well, unfortunately. Yeah, so... I mean, you guys would have to go to the subreddit and read the response from the parent as well as Linus's response to that. But I don't think that is, like, you have to have all your facts straight before you can go out and make you know, assumptions that that was the first evidence that Linus' bullheaded behavior could have real consequences. I feel like Linus lets his emotions control his logic way too much. Yeah, so if anything, I largely agree with this. And I said that earlier on the stream for anybody who missed it. Linus's response seemed like he just wrote it, didn't let anyone else read over it or give comments or feedback, and he just sent it out. Regarding his first forum apology post. And he's done that on like WAN show and even in videos as well too. He has said things that it's like, dude, really? I don't think that's out of being malicious or evil. That's just like being irresponsible, if anything. But is he evil at heart? I mean, only him and, you know, knows. But if I had to guess, I don't think so. Oh my god, he's defending Linus! Oh my god! Linus strikes me as someone who speaks before he thinks, to be honest. You strike me as a person who hits enter before they reread their chat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you crap. I know what you're saying. Linus strikes me as a person who speaks before he thinks. Exactly. And you guys, can we not let this be the reason why this is like one of the most viewed live streams? Like, does it? You guys want to get past the drama and stuff, right? And the controversy. I shouldn't call it drama. I think this is more of a controversy. Drama, especially with the whole sexual misconduct allegation. It is not just like playground or high school drama now. This is more serious. It's like more elevated. Like this is straight up a controversy, but I do not want this to be like why people attend the streams every single week. Nope, I'm not gonna do the plug. Screw it. People, yeah, I'm not gonna do the plug because then that could be spun against me, saying like, oh, now you're trying to plug your normal streams on this drama. Yeah, drama and controversy definitely sadly attracts viewers. This is the first time I watched almost the entire stream. Yeah, see? People freaking love drama. Why? And I'm gonna apologize right now for covering this on the stream, but I already explained it in the beginning of the video. If you missed it, then maybe you can rewatch it. But to sum it up, it's like there's no way we could have had a normal PC tech stream today without this being flooded in the chat and it being addressed. Yes, there are people in the stream. Hazard Me, JG Wright, Rad Robot. There, I see it. Craig Lilly. There is a lot of names in here that people always attend the stream every single week, drama aside. So thank you guys for being here and being level-headed and reasonable. I really do appreciate it. I was actually pretty nervous about doing this because I feel like everybody is like, it's like walking on firecrackers right now, right? Or trying to tiptoe around firecrackers. One wrong thing said could be turned against you, and I don't know, that could still happen. Someone could take clips of the stream out of context, put it in a video, and then make it seem like I'm a Linus defender and cancel my whole channel. So we'll see. This is a cloud that's hanging over the entire PC tech community. Yeah, that's true. And I think it's how you approach it is what's important, right? Like, I think channels who are covered, I don't know, it's hard to tell who's doing it for clout and who's doing it because this is their livelihood. Hopefully, like, for people like me, for people like the Jason who had a stream yesterday where he got attacked for, you know, trying to be unbiased, for Brett who has been attacked for trying to remain unbiased. Hopefully when you watch people cover this topic, you can kind of get a feel of what people's intentions are, and that we are doing this out of the passion for like PC tech YouTubing, I guess you can call it, and PC tech, and not for clout chasing. Yeah, so Danny, go have dinner with your wife. I allocated extra time. Dinner's not for another over an hour, so I will be going in a second here, but just wanted to see the rest of the chat. We've had long conversations surrounding how we should cover this and what was the best interest of the community. Yeah, for sure. I don't think anyone has taken. Well, I actually, there are probably some people who have also fired at the hip with the response to this, but yes. Same here, Brett. Like, I wrote out a bunch of notes. I wrote out like every type of response that I could have gotten and just how I would want to address it, because people are they're very heated about this topic. Even if you explain yourself, people will spin it either way. Yeah, that's the unfortunate truth. So we'll see how that happens. I don't know. I think hopefully, I guess my following is nowhere near as big as either the pro Linus people or the Linus haters. So yeah, my own personal followers who know who I am as a creator, hopefully, I don't know, we don't get overrun by everybody else. For Kinetic, I bought a 5600X used the stock cooler. And used the stock cooler. People keep saying it's enough to cool it, but in my case, the CPU throttle is really hard. Goes down to 3.9 gigahertz. Have you had any experience with that? Yeah, I'm gonna end it on actually tech content because because I want to change the mood up before the stream actually ends. Okay, for Kinetic, so going down to 3.9 gigahertz, that's not necessarily throttling. So officially, the 5600X has a base clock of 3.7 gigahertz. Now it has max boost clocks to 4.6 gigahertz, but that's only guaranteed on a single core. I don't know off the top of my head. I would have to go look at like either my own benchmarks or somebody else what the all-core stock out of the box unoverclocked all-core clock is. But 3.9, yeah, that does seem a little low. Have you put a bigger cooler on it and seen if that helps that issue? Yeah, so all core versus single core guarantees from the stated specs are two different things. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, the answer to this, the cheap way to answer this is if you have a buddy or someone else who has a bigger cooler, or even if you want to spend $20 on like a, you know, whatever 4 heat pipe air cooler from Amazon, put that onto your system, run the same test. Does it also max out at 3.9 gigahertz? It probably will boost higher because it has the headroom to due to cooling. But what are the temps? You're saying it goes down to 3.9 gigahertz, but is it hitting throttle temps? So yeah. Do you think Linus should have the WAN show this week, or is it too soon? There's no way that Linus, whatever they choose, or LMG, I keep saying Linus, but I mean LMG. And also, for Kinetic, just to answer your question, getting a $20 to $30 air cooler on Amazon for 5600X is an awesome pairing. Don't feel the need to have to spend on like a $100 AIO or something. But getting back to what Jason's saying, should they have a WAN show? If they do not have a WAN show, people are going to criticize them for trying to sweep it under the rug or trying to go into damage control mode. If they do have a WAN show, people are going to criticize them for not prioritizing restructuring their organization and keeping true to their word about going offline for the week. Because Yvonne in her video says we are not publishing anything for the next week. So there's no way they can win. Do I think they should do a WAN show? I personally think they should not. They already said they're going offline and they need to... Going on the WAN show would be a public disaster because there's no way you can think about, or they can respond to chat actively and not accidentally say something either that they are not intending to say or just making an oopsie. And once it's out on the internet, it's out in a live show. So yeah, I think the smart thing to do would be to not have WAN show, in my opinion. Mike1360, longtime supporter of the channel. Thank you for the super chat. Dono, I appreciate it. Hello, I hope all is going well. Seems like everyone is covering the whole LTT incident. Not to change the subject matter, but do you by chance have any new merch coming out soon that you would like to announce? Lol. Mike1360, you coming in here with this out of left field question, which I do appreciate your support as always. And yet, no, don't worry about it. You changing the topic is totally okay. We're at the end of the stream. We're about to end. We've already covered everything for the most part that we need to cover. But in terms of new merch, I am trying to come up with a third shirt design. It is very difficult because I'm picky and I want the design to be really good. It's just me holding up the process. I'm trying to come up with the concept. I want it to be a LAN party themed shirt because there's a lot of supporters of the LAN party series, and I want to have a LAN party shirt for all my friends to wear and myself during LAN parties. So yeah, that's what the next shirt idea, and it's just gonna be a shirt for everyone who like loves LAN parties or have like fond memories of LAN parties to like kind of proudly wear. So I'm trying to come up with a design with that. But no hard dates, so yeah. Brett with the channel member support. Brett, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's it for that. And then yeah, that was a chat super chat, and thank you for the support. It just feels weird because of the overall topic of this stream to get any support. So yeah, Deep Cool also has great coolers under $30. Whatever they do, they will have backlash, so they need to do the right thing internally. Yep, exactly. So no WAN show. Well, we'll see. The thing is, if they had a WAN show, you know everybody's gonna be tuning in, right? As much as people don't want them to have a WAN show and all of that stuff, if they had one, everybody, including their haters, their supporters, the neutral parties, everyone's gonna tune in. So all eyes are literally on them at the moment. So it's in the coming days, weeks, and months, we'll see what their true colors, I guess you could say. Danny, find Samuel's question when you get a chance. Where's Samuel's question? I need to go back up. Did I miss it? Samuel, best budget GPU. My R9 390 died. Dude, the 390 was such a solid card. Best budget GPU I could like easily recommend, especially going up from my R9 390. That's gonna be probably the 6650 XT, 6600 XT, or 6700 XT if you're in the United States. Prices on those coming with Starfield for free. $310 for a 3700 XT, and you get the $100 Founders Edition Starfield game. That is the no-brainer move right there. Love the content regardless of the controversy. Thanks. I mean, you've been one of the longtime supporters, so I really do appreciate that. Oh my god, Mike coming in with the huge donos. Danny on his way to recommend the 6600 XT. We're actually gonna pull that up. This is the graphics card you get. That it's almost like the exact. It's in like the same tiering. Not, I guess the 390 was a little bit higher tier than what the 6700 XT would be considered right now. But save even more with this promo code. So this Sapphire Post version, this is the one, you guys. This is, let me link it to you guys. This is the one to get. Thank you for the support, Mike. 20 gifted memberships is huge. Sapphire Pulse is the one because it is Sapphire, who, for the most part, I feel like has been controversy and drama free. They are like the EVGA to AMD in that they are, you know, one of the long-standing manufacturers. They are, what's it called? And they are exclusive to AMD. They're not, you know, they don't make cards from both companies. But you get another promo code to bring the price down, and you get the Starfield Premium Edition of the game. If you don't want this, you can still sell it and make this card cheaper. So this is the graphics card to get for most people with a reasonable budget. Is the OC version worth getting? I never found it worth paying more for the OC versions. Sure, they're clocked. They probably are binned slightly better and clocked slightly higher, but the percentage that they are better usually are not the percentage that they cost more, if that makes sense. You get probably less FPS per dollar for paying $30 more for an OC version than this version. I don't know if it's $30 more. I'm just saying in general, that's what I've seen. Yes, that is exactly. Sapphire is regarded to the EVGA of AMD. Yep. These are still going on. Okay, that's gonna pretty much be it for stream. I want to thank everyone who came to have a civil, reasonable adult discussion. I think chat was pretty tame for the most part today, right? Would you guys agree? Either mods or longtime stream supporters, channel supporters. I think people, I did see some comments of some people that were very emotional or passionate that were either one way or the other, but for the most part, it did not result to much name calling. It did not result to personal attacks against other people. We didn't have that many deleted comments or bans. So I would say this actually was way better than I would have expected based on what I've seen on Twitter and the LMG subreddit. So Yeah. Yeah, some bad takes. There were some different takes. Yeah, some of them I guess you can consider bad or good depending on what side of the aisle you're on, but nothing too disrespectful. I would agree with that. So yeah. So I would like to thank all of you guys for that, because I think for me personally, I take pride in having an audience that, you know, is not ridiculous and that reflects like well of, you know, the community that I've tried to build here on my channel and on the stream. So yeah, happy birthday, Mrs. No. Yeah, happy birthday to Melissa. I'm not gonna tell you what her age is, because that you're not supposed to share a woman's age. But yeah. I wasn't perfect on this tonight. Sorry, just hate seeing folks get nailed without representation. Michael, you're fine. The fact that you're even leaving a comment like this after the fact that you are aware of this, and I don't even think you were bad at all. This is the type of like more critical thinking and deep reflection that I think people need to have before they open their mouth and talk or like type something on the internet. So no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Oh boy, she's older, dang. She's not older than me, but she's not that far behind me. Let's just say that. I just don't want to out her age. But either way, man, these things are still going. Thanks again, Mike1360, for that. So, hope you all have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend coming up. I'm not gonna like plug any stream or video or anything like that. We're just gonna leave this stream as it is. I just want to thank you all again for being reasonable tonight, for having what I would feel pretty good discussion. We're just gonna have to wait and see where the blocks fall, right? Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but please, when you go out there on the internet, don't make it any more toxic than it already is. Have reasonable discussions, you know, be mindful that LMG is a big corporation made of still normal people. Not defending Linus or anything like that. I'm just trying to keep people being mature and responsible adults. But yeah, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you either in the next video or the next stream, whenever those may be. Have a good night. Take care.